Number 12 Notre Dame versus number 24 Navy. The battle for the Rip Miller Trophy at MetLife Stadium. Notre Dame has won 6 straight versus Navy. Navy looking to go 7-0 for the first time since 1978. Have not had a turnover in 5 straight games. Oh, that would change here. Mid-first quarter, Notre Dame up 7. Blake Horvath to Alex Teska, but he can't hang on to it. Loose ball, and Aiden Schuler picks it up for Notre Dame, takes it down to the 7-yard line. Navy's first turnover since August 31st. Ensuing Notre Dame drive, Riley Leonard connects with Chris Mitchell. Touchdown, Notre Dame leads 14-0. Irish capitalize on the Navy turnover. Next Navy drive, 2nd and 21 from the 47. Horvath fumbles the exchange. Junior Tui Alamaka recovers for Notre Dame. Navy, first time fumbling on their first 2 drives since 2019. They would right the ship on the next drive, though. Horvath on the read option. Sees a lane, and he gone. Avoids a tackle and takes it in. 47-yard touchdown. Navy back in this one, down 14-7. 11th rushing touchdown of the season for Horvath. Ensuing Notre Dame drive, Jeremiah Love, not going to be outdone. Takes it up the middle. Into open space. It's a foot race, and he's going to win it. Takes it in. 64 yards for the score. Notre Dame leads 21-7. 8th straight game with a rushing touchdown for Love. Next Notre Dame drive, Irish punting it away. Isaiah Bryant gets under it, but muffs it. Notre Dame recovers another turnover by the midshipmen. Weeks 1 to 8, they had 2 turnovers. First half here versus Notre Dame, they had 3. Ensuing Notre Dame drive, Love takes it up the middle. He's in for 6. 31-7 Irish at the half. They've won 22 straight when leading at the break. Love's second rushing touchdown of the game. Mid-third quarter, Notre Dame up 31-14. Leonard launches one. Bo Collins on the other end of that rainbow ball. Notre Dame up 38-14, just dominating here. Ensuing Navy possession. Horvath drops it. It's recovered in the end zone by Jalen Sneed. Another 6 points on the board for Notre Dame. They go on to crush Navy. 51-14, largest win versus an AP-ranked opponent since 1992. 6th straight win after a loss to Northern Illinois. Navy, 6 turnovers. That's their most in a game since 2002. And Notre Dame win 7 straight at a neutral site. Next up, they get Florida State. Navy get Rice next. All right, welcome inside our HQ studios. I had to do that just because.
Rub it in a little.
That's all it is. That's all it is. So, but hey, you'll react differently after Florida State beats Miami today.
I totally do.
Jeremy St. Louis, Damien Harris, Danny Kanell, Beanie Wells here. Okay, so let's talk about this. Really not a whole heck of a lot to say about this game today because of the fact that Notre Dame just dominated. But are you surprised at the scoreline here? Or perhaps, let's do it this way. Are you more surprised at how Notre Dame played, or are you more surprised at the way Navy kind of coughed this up?
I am floored by how Navy played. 3 turnovers in the first half, 6 total turnovers. I mean, you might as well just stayed on the bus. You might as well have not even showed up at the stadium and pretended like you wanted to play this game, because clearly you did not. Like I said, if you turn the ball over 3 straight possessions, and again, these weren't like, it wasn't like it was great contested coverage and he threw a jump ball and it got picked off. No, these were fumbled exchanges, quarterback center exchanges, quarterback to running back exchanges. Even on the Jeremiah Love touchdown run, he was completely untouched. Offensively, defensively, the muff punt on special teams, Navy did not show up ready to play, and it was really shocking to me.
A typically very disciplined team played very undisciplined football. That's what happened to Navy. And, you know, it was interesting because in the pregame, Blake Horvath, they were talking about this thumb injury that he had with his wrist. You know, his thumb was taped up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that came into play, but you saw the play where he was going back to pass and it just slipped out. We saw several of those exchanges where the quarterback, in this system where they're doing a lot of option stuff, ball handling becomes that more critical, and your grip on the football matters. I'm not giving them excuses, but it sure looked like it did come into play. I'll say this for Notre Dame. They were, you know, after the loss to Northern Illinois, I thought they needed style points, and I thought they looked at this game versus a top 25 Navy as an opportunity to make a statement, and I thought it was. Now they have to go do it against Army, who's another most likely top 25 team, but they are winning with style, and it was completely dominant. But to Damien's point, it was very, very sloppy for Navy, and you can't do that against a team like Notre Dame when they have that much more talent than you do.
Yeah, when you got an opportunity to see Navy out there and driving the ball when they didn't turn it over, they looked good. They had some success that's what makes you believe it would have probably been a completely different ball game had they not made those critical mistakes, especially a team that doesn't make those. I know Brian Newberry has to be ticked off at his football team. Those guys are feeling bad because they had an opportunity to, right their own ship and control their own destiny. Now that's no longer the case.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Did Notre Dame just torpedo Navy's college football playoff hopes?
I think they very well may have, but if Navy obviously goes on and continues to win, they'll have to play Army. Army, they could be an undefeated team as well, or they're undefeated now. They can continue to be undefeated. If they beat them, now I think that changes a little bit.
Here's what hurts them. If the Boise State angle, like if it's Boise State or if it's Navy, and they start looking at how did you play against Power 4 opponents, Boise State lost by 3 points to Oregon, and Ashton Jeanty went off and had 193 and 3 touchdowns. Like, if they start doing that, that's where I really significantly think this damages Navy's college football playoff resume.
Absolutely.
How much does this help Notre Dame's resume in terms of the playoffs?
Tremendously. I mean, to Danny's point, it's about style. And granted, they didn't. The score was not indicative of what Notre Dame did, in my opinion. I think that we can agree on this. But the score was lopsided. I'm sure the offensive production was a little lopsided. Everything, every major statistic. I can't even talk right now. Major statistical category, Notre Dame was impressive, and they dominated Navy. So, in my opinion, the style of the win, the way that they won, is very convincing, and it obviously helps their playoff chances.
And the analytics will be impacted by this because when the season's done, the committee's not going to go back and remember or watch the tape of Notre Dame Navy.
Right.
They'll just look, and Navy's probably going to finish, 10-2 at worst case. And so you have a win, 51-14 over a 10-2 team that's probably going to be going to a really good bowl. So that's a bolster. And they might even win the conference. We don't know that yet. So it's a solid, resounding resume builder for Notre Dame.
Yeah, I agree with those guys. I mean, the way that Notre Dame went out and put up all these points is going to look good. So I definitely think it helps their chances, especially anytime you can be an undefeated team, a ranked team. I think that's what it's going to come down to when you're the committee and you're evaluating teams and teams' records and how they play versus ranked opponents. It matters.
And you have to think in terms of poll implications here that depending on how the other results kind of lay out, Notre Dame moving back inside the top 10 as they improve to 7-1 with the big win over Navy. Navy's undefeated season is now over as they fall to 6-1. In terms of Notre Dame in large wins versus AP ranked teams, 37 points today is the third highest for them. Before that, you have to go back to 1992 when they had their biggest versus Boston College, who were ranked 9th at the time, a 47-point victory. And of course, they beat Pitt. Pitt was back then 7th ranked in '89, beat them by 38 points.